to lead us in the pledge?
Good evening, and welcome to the October 3rd, 2024 meeting of the Town of Southampton Zoning Board of Appeals. This meeting is being held live and may also be seen via video conferencing in accordance with the Town Board's enactment of Local Law 14 of 2022. Our next meeting and those following also will be held in person here at Town Hall and will continue to allow for remote participation. So please keep checking the town's website for updates and any new information. If you wish to view tonight's meeting live only and not participate, please don't join the Zoom meeting and instead go to the town's website for viewing access. With that, I'd like to ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For those of you with us here tonight, in case of an emergency evacuation, please exit through the rear doors of this room to one of the staircases across the hall and continue downstairs and out through the main entrance. Do not attempt to use the elevators during an emergency evacuation. In case of a medical emergency, the automated external defibrillator and first aid kit are located in the hallway on this floor opposite the elevator. Restrooms are located across the hall from this room. We'll begin this meeting with public hearings. We have applicants and members of the public here with us live and also standing by via Zoom webinar, which is being moderated by CTV. CTV will mute the speakers on Zoom until it is their time to give testimony before the board. Please be patient. If you find you're having difficulties accessing the hearing, visit the town clerk's meeting portal and click on the instructions link. Also, for those of you in this boardroom, please silence your cell phones and refrain from speaking to one another as it interferes with the recording of our proceedings. Tonight, board member Julie Kane is absent, as well as John Rebhan, and Helen Burgess is participating via Zoom. Carrie Meyer will be covering the meeting for Candace Cowell. A reminder that applicants, agents, and members of the public speaking other than attorneys will be sworn in, state their address for the record, and will offer their testimony as it relates to the application before the board. In order to consider properly every application before us tonight, individuals commenting on a particular application have a time limit of 3 minutes. Also, before handing in any submissions to the board tonight, please make sure that the documents identify the ZBA application name and tax map number. The application name should also be written on your certified receipts. Unless otherwise stated at the end of an individual application hearing, all applications will remain open for written comments for all purposes until a set date. In the temporary absence of the board secretary, Candace Cowell, those written comments can be addressed to the members of the board and sent via email, mail, and or dropped off at Town Hall to the attention of Maylin Ziesman in the building department. At this time, I'd like to take a motion to approve the minutes of September 19, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. John, would you like to take us through the agenda for this evening?
Yes. So, application number 1, Mark Schiffert, and application number 2, L'Etoile Realty Corp. are going to be re-advertised for 10/17. Applications 3, 4, and 5, Brian Neidecker, Ben Ockburn LLC, and Kristen Sosulski will be re-advertised to 10/17. The application number 6, John J. Ferlazzo, is re-advertised for 10/17. Number 7 on the agenda, the application of Brian Farrell, 11 Robbins Lane, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-62-1-10, will be adjourned to 11/21.
Is there a second?
Second. Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 8 on the agenda, 227 Montauk LLC, 227 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-86-1-3 will be adjourned to 11/21.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Application number 9 on the agenda, J.G. Farrell 3 Real Estate LLC, 8 Middle Pond Lane, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-272-2-10 will be adjourned to 11/21.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Chair votes aye.
Number 11 on the agenda, 94 Dune Road Holding Corp., 94 Dune Road, East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-385-1-37.3 will be adjourned to December 5th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
Number 12 on the agenda, 625 Butter Lane Homestead LLC, Agricultural Reserve, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-51-1-17.7 will be adjourned to November 21st.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
Turning to the decision calendar, the two decisions in the application of Alexander Vayman will be adjourned to October 17.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
I move to reopen the applications of Dilip Patel and Sabjit Kaur Dillon, Helen Roble and Tal Ayal, and Dennis and Arlene O'Rourke for acceptance of written submissions.
Let's do each of those separately.
You want them to
Yeah, because
separate?
they have to be unanimous to reopen.
Oh, okay. So I move to reopen the application of Dilip Patel and Sabjit Kaur Dillon for written submissions.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
I move to close the application of Dilip Patel and Sabjit Kaur Dillon for decision later tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to reopen for written submissions the application of Dennis and Arlene O'Rourke.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
I move to close the application of Dennis and Arlene O'Rourke for written decision later tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I move to, did I already do Roble?
You did not.
No, okay, I skipped over it. I move to reopen for written submissions the application of Helen Roble and Tal Ayal.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia? Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye.
And I move to close the application for written decision later tonight of Helen Roble and Tal Ayal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, moving to number 10 on the agenda, application of Matthew and Tracy Marafi, 79 Inlet Road West, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-176-1-6.
Okay, that's for Gina. She should be on Zoom.
Hi, I'm here.
Hey, Gina.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Are
Good,
you an
thanks for the
attorney,
call.
Gina? Are you an attorney?
I am not.
Okay, let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you please state your name and your address?
Gina Rigdon, DKR Shores, 235 Trout Brook Lane, Aquabog, New York.
Okay. Gina, do you want to, we reopening this, or we're discussing it, do you want to,
Yes. I'll just do a brief recap.
okay.
So we were in front of the board on May 2nd. Their client, Tracy and Matt, were basically proposing some small first-story additions, but a second-story addition sort of hypothetically full height above the footprint of the first-story addition. Severely constrained lot, kind of skinny and long, just typical for that area along the water. They were previously asking a total cubic, it's pyramid really was the big nut. So on the west side of the property, they were asking for 4477, and the east side 178. So
I'm
that
sorry,
was,
you got garbled, Gina.
okay, so previously, the total encroachment they were asking for pyramid was almost 6,800 cubic feet.
Okay,
And respectively, they basically went back to the drawing board. They redesigned the whole project, where it was kind of an upside down house, where the kitchen and the living area are on the second floor. Well, now the kitchen and the living area are now on the first floor, and the bedrooms are on the second floor. They were able to reduce some of the ceiling heights. They also were able to basically reduce the angle of the roof in its entirety, so it's not as steep. And then the floors on the outside of the house were considerably brought down, so the roof line was brought down. So all the windows were same height, so it looks more like a cottage style, which is typical for that area and in character of the neighborhood now. So what they're asking for now, on the west pyramid, keep in mind existing encroachment is 585 cubic feet already on the west. So they were asking 3,319 cubic feet. That would be a total on the west of 3,904. Previously, the total that they were asking for was 4,477 on the west. So they reduced it considerably. The ridge line also, they did have it previously at 26 feet high over average grade. Now it's at 23.8. So the whole house pretty much has kind of come down, and instead of being steep, is now shallower, and it's much more in character. It's kind of cute. It's charming. They put like double hung windows with divided light and mullions. It actually, they did a really good job. It looks quite cute and very, very close to some of the other projects, like the one I did at 87. It almost looks the same. So on the east pyramid is they're asking for not a lot. There's an existing 41.
I'm sorry, you're getting garbled. Can you repeat that figure?
Okay, so existing on the east was 41 is existing. Keep that in mind. They're only proposing 151 cubic feet encroachment, so a total of 189 on the. So that's nominal. But the west is the biggest, and they did bring that down. They brought that ceiling height down. They brought the whole wall down on that side, and they brought the elevation of the roof down and the whole ridge line down. So it actually looks really good. I think they did a good job on it.
Do you guys have these new
I
plans?
do not have the plans.
No.
They should be there, otherwise it wouldn't have gone back on meeting.
Do you want to see them? I have them.
No, I don't want to see them. I just wondered if the board got them.
No, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen
Not
them. Are they
talking
in
to
the submittals?
Yeah,
Are they in the submittals for today?
so
Gina, when did you
They
submit
were in
them?
submittals
Just-
like
I
two.
did personally, the architect, the owner dropped them off.
Okay, so
I
a
only
couple
have
I went
weeks
through
ago.
all my
copies.
submittals and I found them.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we have them. Usually I have like a list of correspondence, but I don't have it.
Yeah,
so-
they
What's
didn't
the total
actually come to
pyramid now?
my office. They were
3904.
That's on the
Totally.
west.
cute. Like you can actually just see it. Like
Gina, what's the new total? 3904 plus what?
okay, so my total 3904.7 plus 189. It's 4,093.7. That's the total.
Okay.
Keep in mind we have an existing, so right off the bat, take off 600. I mean, reduce that because that's what the house is
Well,
right
on
now.
your plans, the 189 number is in square feet.
No, that's in cubic feet.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It says square feet. Area violation in cubic feet is 3904.7. Area violation,
Oh,
In
it's
square
okay. No,
feet
I
is
see.
189.
I see.
so
Yeah, she wanted it in.
is there a cubic feet calculation for that 189?
Hold on one second. So I see the 21. All right. Hold on. I see 66. I do not. All right, hold on. So I do. See, look over to the left. He didn't do this right, but look at the sketch to the left where you see the different roof lines and it says the total volume and cubic feet.
To the left of which page are you on?
I am still on A3,
A3, okay.
but if you move over to the left where it says area in violation of pyramid,
Right.
and the volume calculation on that side are listed.
Do you have?
So is it the 279.91? And then you have a total volume 2312.55. This is very confusing. Oh, here it is. So these two calculations add up to the 3904.7.
Right,
The proposed
right. So the
4030. This is so
904.
confusing.
7.7 is the total.
On the west.
Oh, I see. Okay. They actually combined it.
They combined it. It's 3904.
They literally combined it in the back.
Oh, so that's the total, it's 3904.
Yeah.
Point
the
seven.
Total is 3904.
No, he says for everything.
Yeah, that's for everything.
3904.
So it's not 409.
Yeah, I read
No.
this wrong. You're right. It's very confusing the way
Okay.
you did it. But he
All right.
combined the east, combined the west. So I'm sorry, it's less. So the total is 3904.7 for both the east and the west combined, which is not bad. There's some other last ones. So 73 had been granted. That was 515. It's in the ballpark of something approvable, but it's up to the board. I think it's more important that it looks in character, and it does.
What did you say the ceiling heights were?
So we have 8 foot on the first floor and 9 on the second floor currently.
I do not have the plans. Does anybody else have
Right
the plans
here.
besides
Yeah,
John?
you can look at
I
them.
Yeah.
understand, but has anybody else seen them besides
No,
John?
I'm asking, do you want to see them? You could. I've looked at them a lot. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, John.
Okay.
I would like to have a copy of them.
I don't know.
Okay, so I think that's an issue, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but I, you know, you were having trouble reading. I'd like the luxury of being able to look at them
Oh
and
yeah,
read
yeah.
them.
I mean, one
I
thing
do
I'm
apologize. They usually,
Well, I think you
No.
need to make sure that we get
I
copies of the
did.
plans. for
One thing I'm noticing is you have a number of a living room, a den, a study on the first floor, and then your bedrooms upstairs.
correct. They flipped
Right.
it.
And I'm assuming that at least 2, I guess the proposed bedroom and the proposed bath is on the side with the most incursion into the pyramid.
I would say, yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that would be, look at the south elevation, it's a little bit better if you're looking at that part of the house.
Yeah, because there's
Oh.
the.
You know, I apologize. I do have them. I do.
You
have
do,
them.
okay.
I do,
Okay.
because I'm just looking at it, and the first floor now is the kitchen and the dining room
Right.
are below, and, okay. I'm sorry,
Right,
you know, I
right.
couldn't find a date on this that would correspond with a recent submission, so that was my issue.
I think it was 720.
All right, I think I have them. And I think I see the total square, cubic feet of 3904.7. Okay.
Right,
All
3904.7.
right, sorry. John, what was your point?
No, so my point is, well, my question is, we're using a lot of space on the ground floor for the purpose of a den, a study, a living room. And, you know, I think that the pyramid incursion for me is too much still. And I would like to see some more efficient use of the rooms.
So this guy, as you know, so post-COVID, of course, everyone is moving out here and have a home office out here.
You're
We're,
cutting
we're
out.
not, we're not hearing
Children.
you.
You're cutting out.
I said post-COVID, everyone is buying houses and building and using this house now as their primary. And between, you know, the office and the home office and the kids and stuff like that, that's why they have such a large recreational family space. So he has enough room for, you know, his office and his privacy.
Gina, you said that the ceiling height is 8 feet on the first floor, 9 feet on the second. Is
Yeah.
there a reason that it's 9 feet on the second and it couldn't be 8 feet?
I don't know. I know they have some vaulted ceilings on one level. I could definitely inquire. I'm not sure if it did. I think, no, I can't say he gave me a reason.
Okay.
I
Because there's still, I'm sorry, go ahead, Helen.
just want to say that I agree with John that this is much too much of an encroachment, and perhaps definitely in my mind they have to do something about it. The 9 feet can become 8 feet. The distribution of the bedrooms can be done in such a way so that the encroachment is less. It's not acceptable to me, Gina. That's all I.
So, so we're looking at something in the 3,500 range. That be acceptable if we can get something near there?
We're
Generally,
here.
yeah.
We're
Go
here,
ahead.
but we're not gonna commit to a number.
No.
Okay,
Why don't we see what the calculations come in if we drop the ceilings to 8 feet?
right. I wonder what that
And
would.
see if you can move some bedrooms downstairs and reduce the pyramid encroachment. I share the same concerns that John articulated, even though I don't quite have all the plans. But at the beginning, this was too much house on a lot that was too constrained. And I know the area. I don't live far from it, but I'm over there enough because I used to put a boat in at Inlet Road, and the characterization. There's a lot of very modest size structures there, and I worry that this is outsized for the area. And I think the concern that's been registered by other people on the board is an attempt to ameliorate that.
I agree.
Well, and I would like to see a calculation of 8-foot ceiling on the second floor.
True.
And see if that helps
Thank you.
mitigate some of the issues that we're.
Right, it might.
This isn't the only variance that you're requesting, so let's go through the other ones as well.
Okay. So the actual footprint didn't change because they were trying to modify just the ceiling height and the heights in general, and because otherwise I have to go back and modify conservation board approval, the DEC approval, and basically in general, it's the addition and the development is over the existing development and above the footprint of what's already there. That was the whole goal, is to go up and not out.
Right.
So at the first and second story, so there was a second floor deck that's going over the first floor deck that already exists. They were connecting the house to the garage that didn't need relief because the structures are already there. So there's a one-story deck. Deck is close to the other yard, but that deck already exists. I was very specific during the design that they didn't go any closer deck. And so they actually cut that corner, back. So it would need relief. So basically, it's a lot of continuance. It's deck to be located within, required side yard, because they're a stair on the east side, and that is not an encroachment, pyramid, but the deck itself technically. And then we have
Can I
AC
just ask you
units.
a
That's
clarification?
incorrect.
Gina, I just need to ask a clarification on
Sure.
the write-up that I have here. It says, number 4, for a portion of a one-story deck,
Right.
section 330-11, for an accessory side yard setback of 4 feet, where a minimum of 20 feet is required. As I understand it, accessory is 10 feet, principal is 20 feet. Are we getting this confused?
No, I'm not at all. The deck is actually at 4 feet right now.
I'm talking about like you're
You're only
asking for a
10.
variance from what is supposed to be the required setback. Are you talking about a 10-foot setback or a 20-foot setback? 20-foot would be for a principal setback. Principal setback. Accessory would be for 10. I just need clarification on that.
Okay, so the house right now, are we talking about the house or the deck right now?
Deck.
We're
Okay, so
talking about the deck.
So
If
the
it's a-
deck, the pre-existing deck that is already there, that has a compliance certificate, is at 4 feet from the northern property line.
Okay, I get
It
that
already
you're-
has a
you're
CO,
not-
it's existing.
Yeah, it's just in terms of a write-up, we have to correctly write this up. So,
Okay.
Katie, do you see what I'm talking
You
about?
may only require 10 feet setback, and you're going down to 4 as opposed to 20 to 4.
Yeah, so I just want a
Correct.
clarification on that point. Katie, can you take a look at that?
I mean, I don't have, she can check with whoever wrote this up. I mean, I don't,
Okay, because I think there's maybe
yeah,
a
I mean, Marge wrote
confusion.
it up.
Again, I'm not talking so much
I
about the
think
4
Marjorie
feet.
wrote it out.
I think it's either gonna be an accessory or a principal side yard setback. And you say accessory side yard of 20 feet is required and an accessory is 10. So,
I didn't write it out.
okay, there just needs to be clarification on that for whoever is
Okay.
responsible.
And what is the elevation of, I'm trying to, the elevation of the wood deck? I know there's a second-story deck, and the one I think you're talking about, the
It's
one
the first
closest
story, yeah.
to the west side.
Yeah.
Is that a ground level? Is that slightly elevated, or is?
I would say it's slightly elevated. It's not at ground level.
Is it over a foot?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So-
don't actually have the elevations, but just from memory, I believe it is over a foot. But it's pre-existing, non-conforming, and it already has, yeah.
Okay. My other question is, I didn't, and it could be my inability to read the survey, but I didn't know where the AC units were.
Okay, that's actually a mistake when she wrote that up.
Okay.
And at first, they did have on the house, between the house and the side yard on the north, but they moved them. So if you look at the survey, they moved them to the other side. So they actually should not have ever been. They moved that a long time ago. That
Okay.
shouldn't have been part of.
Where are they on the survey?
Okay, so if
They're
you're
on
looking,
the east side or the west side?
it is facing Inlet Road West. It's facing the front yard on the side between the garage and the house. You can see there's 2 proposed AC units
Okay,
between the garage and the house. That was moved before she wrote this up. That shouldn't have been written up that way. Not asking for that relief.
okay,
Are they in a conforming location on the survey?
They are.
They are.
They are.
okay, so
Okay.
that should be eliminated.
And is the parking on the survey as well?
It is.
All right, where is the parking? Let's look at that. We have the garage. Am I looking at an old survey?
I don't know. Do we have a new survey? Because Marge wrote it up. The survey that Marge reviewed said there was no parking.
So on the first of the actual site plan, it's not a survey, but the architect did the rendition of the parking areas. on A1.
All right, A1, I've got A1.
So there should be 1, 2, 4 cars.
All right, I'm having trouble reading this.
All right, well, Gina, then follow up
Sure.
with Marge and just make sure that all of her comments
Sure.
are addressed.
Okay. And then I'll have them work on getting this down a little bit more. I'm wondering if they changed the ceiling height. Well, we could get it down to.
Perfect.
And also the bedrooms.
Right, maybe they could put a bedroom on the first floor
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or make one bedroom smaller or something.
I think
That would do.
maybe make it on the first floor.
All right,
Well,
so
okay.
as I understand it, Gina, you are going to clarify what you're actually asking for in terms of variances with Marge.
Excellent.
And,
Yes.
and make sure that the survey reflects everything appropriately that we can easily identify. And you're going to consider the reduction in the ceiling height and a possible relocation of a bedroom. Is there anything else from the board?
No.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? 79 Inlet Road West. Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this matter?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, John, it's yours.
Okay. Well, do you want to hold it open?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I want to hold it open too.
Yes,
What are our next dates? So we
not
have
the 17th.
11/7.
11/7. Would you be able to turn this around to us for the 11/7 meeting?
I think that the changes are hopefully minor enough that they can do it.
They're not so minor.
They're
Yeah,
not so minor.
If they reduce the ceiling height, they may get it right in, I'm not sure. They may get it right.
All right, why don't we suggest adjourning to
There's
the
11/7 or
7.
11/21.
You know what, let's do 11/21.
Okay, we have a deal. Okay,
Okay.
so
Second.
I didn't even say anything yet. I move to hold this application open to 11/21.
Second.
Mr. Leonard,
Thank
Aye.
you.
Mr. Macedonia,
Aye.
Mr. McDonald,
All right.
Ms. Burgess, chair votes aye. Okay,
Thank you.
11:21.
Thank you, good evening.
Number 13 on the agenda, Kristen and Mark Dracos, 101 Cold Spring Point Road, Tuckahoe, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-155-1-32.
I think we've sworn you all in, if I'm not.
Yeah, this is a
It's a continuation. Nobody knew on this. Okay, hold on just one second.
Were there any new,
Okay,
were they submitted to us? Because I didn't have
I just
anything
got
in my
something
submittal.
today.
Oh, it's in
Um,
this,
yeah.
Michelle?
Okay.
Dated September 27th.
Yeah, please state your name and addresses.
Susanna Herman and Consultants, 1319 North Sea Road, Southampton.
Mark Matthews, 223 Shore Road.
Okay, it is.
Okay.
So I dropped off revised plans that Mark provided to me last Friday, so you should have those.
I think so.
So based on your comments, what we've done is, just to remind you, we were asking for a fairly minor pyramid variance as well as relief to construct a 3-story home in the location of the existing home on a property with wetlands that's narrow, that's in flood zone. So we took your comments into consideration and we're no longer requesting a 3-story home. Mark revised the plans to show a mezzanine instead and has met with the chief building inspector who has blessed these plans as not being 3 stories, as qualifying under his definition of code of mezzanine. So we're no longer asking for 3 stories. However, based on a slight redesign, we have increased the amount of pyramid slightly. So that went from 600
95,
95 to 893.
93.
I had it right in front of me. Too much paper.
Suzanne,
Yes.
is this a mezzanine habitable?
There's no bedrooms up there, and the way it's designed, it's less than a third of the square footage of the floor below. The upper level is mostly storage, mechanical, but there are two small rooms, with sort of a half wall around them that's open to below. One I think is designed to be an office, and the other one I'm not sure.
So how is it so different from having a third floor? By calling it a mezzanine?
But the building department confirms that, Helen. The building department confirms
I
that.
heard that. I
Yeah.
heard that.
But that's how.
It meets the definition of a two-story home.
And we can put that in the decision, Helen. We can put at the end,
This is condition.
the plans as referred to by blah, 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 this is not a 3-story house.
So they couldn't later convert the storage to attic space.
Did you say that again?
They could not legally then convert storage or mechanical space on the upper level from attic into living space.
I don't know, to some degree, it just seems like we're circumventing something by calling it something and getting an approval by somebody. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, that's, we often ask people to do that. We say, we're not gonna, you're not gonna approve 3 stories.
Know that, but I still feel that way.
Okay.
Oh, we often do that. Not that often, luckily.
So, but you're not asked to do anything. You won't be approving 3 stories.
Approving 3 stories.
So we're here asking for a fairly small pyramid variance. At the last hearing, I gave you a list of 10 other properties on the same street that had received much more substantial pyramid variances. Definitely not out of the character of the neighborhood. There are multiple houses on the street that appear to be 3 stories, that have large attic spaces. We don't require a height variance, and we're no longer requesting variance for 3 stories. So it's just the
So it's just the 893
That's it.
cubic
it.
feet of relief, okay.
That's it.
No side yard, front yard, no height.
So what you originally had was a bunk room on the 3rd floor and an office and a bathroom. And that now is all gone, and instead you have.
The office remains.
All right, hold on. Let me
It's much, much smaller. The original upper level was over 1,000 square feet. Now we're much less than that.
Now it's 485.
Now you've got an office and an open area
That's right,
and no bathroom.
that's right.
I think she said 2 rooms. Is that right, Suzanne?
Yeah.
2?
Yes, yeah.
Well, the one
No,
room is
1,
open.
2, 3. Storage mechanicals, 1, 2, 3.
Right, that's all.
4. There's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, that's all added.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 rooms that would be habitable. No bedroom space, no bathrooms, but people would be spending time there. People would not be spending time in the storage or the mechanical rooms that's purely attic space.
Okay.
And that fits within the definition of mezzanine.
Correct.
Yes.
All right,
To
so
have
then I
office
think that we
space.
should put in any decision that we come to, that this has been reviewed by the building department and in keeping with the guidance, with an open mezzanine with 1 office, never to be converted into bedrooms, right? Or living space.
Habitable.
No, it is happening.
No, it's habitable
Oh,
space.
it's to bedrooms, really, and, yeah.
It's to whatever would make it a story.
Yeah,
Closing it, I mean,
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so as long as we stipulate that it can't be used,
Yeah,
it can't be
it
converted.
can't be converted, yeah.
These 2 rooms are finished. The rest of the space.
But they're open to the downstairs.
Yes, and they're open to the.
And that makes them not
Yeah.
a room.
They
Right.
must be forever open to the space below, and the mezzanine can only be 1/3 of the size of that space below.
Right,
The numbers work.
Okay.
okay,
I'm okay with that.
okay.
good.
Sounds definitely better than the last plan.
Someone said to be creative. That
Yeah, and you were. Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 101 Cold Spring?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, this is, whose is this?
Yours.
Oh, it's mine. Okay, so we're going to hold this open for written comments until, what is the date here?
10:25.
At 10:25,
Okay.
okay, and then with a decision on 11/7.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia? Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
good creativity.
Number 14 on the agenda, Gary Fitterman, 645 Dune Road, West Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-391-2-25.1.
Is there anybody here on the application for Gary Fitterman? Is there anyone on Zoom on this application?
We have Mark Schiffer, that's it.
No,
Okay,
no, so why don't you put it on for 11/7?
okay. Do you want to move to adjourn it?
Okay, so I move to adjourn the application of Gary Fitterman to November 7th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. I think that brings us up to decisions, and just give me 1 second before we get organized. Okay. You here for decisions?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
this is for the first one.
Okay. All right,
Done
so, Bob, you want to do the first? Let's just
Sure.
run through these.
This is a decision for Dunright Realty Holdings LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-344-1-41.1. This application for property located at 9 Willow Shade Avenue in East Quogue. Applicant requests variances in connection with a newly constructed house that was built pursuant to permit but on the wrong side yard, with the wrong side yard setbacks. While this board does not condone construction done inconsistent with the building permit, it does find that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law as well as town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code for a newly constructed house on a non-conforming lot, town code section 330-6. General regulations that references town code section 330-11, residence districts, table of dimension regulations for a principal total side yard setback of 39 feet where 45 feet is required, and a principal minimum side yard setback of 19.2 feet where 19.8 feet and 19.8 feet where 20 feet is required, as shown on the survey prepared by Nathan Taft Corwin III, land surveyor, last revised July 10, 2024. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, Kevin, do you want to take the next?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Natterson?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a motion to approve Lara T. Natterson. The application is Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-60-1-6. This application is for a property located at 18 Old Scallop Pond Road, North Sea. Applicant requests relief to relocate an existing detached garage on a corner lot. This board finds that the applicant passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the code for a detached garage. I, Town Code Section 330-6, General Regulations that references Town Code Section 330-11, Residence District Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory distance from street setback of 29.8 where 70 feet is required, and Section II, Town Code Section 330-76-D, placement of accessory buildings, structures, and uses in all districts, and Town Code Section 330-83C, yards, to allow the detached garage to be located within the required front yard for a principal building as shown on the survey prepared by Michael W. Minto, licensed surveyor, revised on the survey May 14, 2024. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. I'll take the next two. The estate of Rhoda Karpatkin, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-42-3-16. This application is for property located at 12 Peconic Bay Avenue, North Sea. Applicant seeks single and separate determination for the subject premises. Based on the testimony and evidence submitted, this board finds that the subject premises, that is Suffolk County Tax Map 900-42-3-16, is held in single and separate ownership from all adjacent parcels, and thus entitled to relief pursuant to Town Code 330-115D, as shown on the survey prepared by John M. Abruzzo, PLS, dated May 30th, 2024. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired and may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the separation of the ownership of the lots within 6 months of this decision. The estate, the second decision is the estate
Well,
of...
just vote on that one first.
Oh,
No,
so
fine.
sorry. Yeah, I was thinking we'd do
Oh.
it together.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Aye. Chair votes aye. Okay, second. The estate of Rhoda Karpatkin, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-42-3-15. This application is for property located at 16 Peconic Bay Avenue, North Sea. Applicant seeks single and separate determination for the subject premises, that is, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-42-3-15 is held in single and separate ownership from all adjacent parcels, and is thus entitled to relief pursuant to Town Code Section 330-115D, as shown on the survey prepared by John M. Abruzzo, PLS, dated May 30th, 2024. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant is acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the separation of the ownership of the lots within 6 months of this decision.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Bob, do you want to take the next one? You go ahead.
This is with the application of Eric R. Guterman Irrevocable Trust and Diana K. Guterman Irrevocable Trust, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-343-1-5. This application is for property located at 1 Sandpiper Lane, East Quogue. Applicant requests relief to legalize a shed constructed without the benefit of a building permit around 2008. While the board does not condone construction done without a permit, it does find that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law as well as Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code to legalize a shed constructed without the benefit of a building permit. Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Town Code. Section 330-11 Residence District Table of Dimensions Regulations for an accessory distance from street setback of 16.2 feet where 50 feet is required. And 2 Town Code 330-76D Placement of accessory buildings, structures, and uses in all districts. And Town Code Section 330-83C Yards to allow the shed to remain within the required front yard of the principal building as shown on the survey prepared by Floyd Carrington, licensed land surveyor of Rayner and Marks, and Carrington, redated May 20, 2024. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Aye. Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. I'll take the next one, then John, you've got 2 coming up. This is a decision of 1115 Flying Point Road, Suffolk County Tax LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-178-2-13. This application is for property located at 1115 Flying Point Road, Watermill. Applicant seeks variances for a proposed tennis court on a lot to be developed with a tennis court, pickleball court, and decking with no principal building. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code for a proposed tennis court, where a proposed tennis court, pickleball court, and decking is proposed without a principal residence pursuant to Town Code Section 330-76C1. 1. Town Code Section 330-6, General Regulations, that references Town Code Section 330-11, Resident Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations, for an accessory side yard setback of 20 feet where 30 feet is required. 2. Town Code Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Town Code Section 330-83C, yards, to allow the tennis court to be located within the required minimum side yard for the principal building, as shown on the site plan prepared by Vincent Gardiello, P.E. of the Raynor Group, last revised April 4, 2024. Prior to the issuance of any certificate of occupancy compliance, the applicant is required to file a covenant subject to the approval of the office of the town attorney, stating that should common ownership of the contiguous lots cease, the tennis court, pickleball court, and decking must be removed within 6 months, or the owner of the lot without a principal structure must obtain a building permit for a principal building or structure within those 6 months. This decision is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the installation of vegetative screening and the maintenance of said screening along the eastern property line.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, John.
Okay, I have a decision in the application of Frank Di Maria and Geraldine Di Maria, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-77-1-13. This application is for property located at 5 Harris Lane, North C. Applicants request relief for a proposed outdoor kitchen on a lot burdened by 2 front yards. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed outdoor kitchen. 1. Town Code Section 330-6, General Regulations, that references Town Code Section 330-11, Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations, for an accessory distance from street setback front yard of 35 feet where 70 feet is required from the easternly property line, North Sea Road. And 2. Town Code Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Town Code Section 330-83C, yards, to allow the outdoor kitchen to be located within the required front yard for the principal building, as shown in the survey prepared by Lester Holden, L.S. of Squires Holden, Weisenbacher, and Smith, last revised August 9, 2023. The granting of this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the maintenance of the existing screening by the applicants and all successors in title.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia. Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, a decision in the application of Anthony Bartolomeo, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-294-2-10. This application is for property located at 15 Hampton Road, Hampton Bays. Applicant requests relief to legalize a rear-covered porch constructed without the benefit of a building permit and a swimming pool that benefits from a certificate of compliance that was issued in error. As testimony was presented that the applicant has entered into a boundary line agreement with the adjacent property owner, noting the non-conforming setbacks, this board finds that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code. 1. To legalize a rear-covered porch constructed without the benefit of a building permit, Town Code Section 330-115C, continuance, for a principal minimum side yard setback of 3.5 feet where 15.3 feet is existing, and Town Code Section 330-84D, pyramid law, for a sky plane encroachment on the west of 491 cubic feet, and 2, for a pool issued certificate of occupants compliance, A12764 in 1994, Town Code Section 330-6 General Regulations, that references 330-11's Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations, for an accessory side yard setback of 1.4 feet where 10 feet is required, as shown on the survey prepared by Howard W. Young, L.S., dated October 23, 2020. The granting of this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicants have already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Kevin.
Okay, so this is a motion for the application of Roger and Jennifer Morales, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-89-1-5. This application is for property located at 308 Sagaponack Road, Bridgehampton. Applicants request relief to legalize a spa, outdoor shower, and an addition constructed without the benefit of a building permit. While this board does not condone construction done without building permits, it does find that the applicant passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, the board grants relief from the following provisions of the code. 1, to legalize an existing spa constructed without the benefit of a building permit, Town Code Section 330-11, Residence District Table of Dimensional Regulations, for an accessory side yard setback of 7 feet where 30 is required. 2, to legalize an outdoor shower constructed without the benefit of a building permit, Town Code Section 330-11, for an accessory side yard setback of 3.7 feet where 30 feet is required. And 3, to legalize an addition to the main dwelling on a lot with 2 dwellings, Town Code Section 330-116 extension, as it relates to the Town Code Section 330-167B1A, specific types of variances to allow an increase in the floor area, habitable living space of 14.8% out of the allowable 50%, as shown on the survey prepared by John F. Barilski, LS of Barilski Land Surveying, last revised July 26, 2024, and the plans and elevations prepared by Stephen D. Lemansky, PE, dated May 21, 2024, the granting of this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicants have already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including compliance with all dark sky provisions of the town code. 2, installation and maintenance of vegetative screens to both the spa and outdoor shower by the applicant and all successors in interest.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. John?
Okay, I have a decision in the application of Patrick Gordon and Zach Robbins, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-132-2-5.2. This application is for property located at 494 North Main Street, North C. Applicants seek to legalize a third story converted by previous owners in the 1980s. While this board does not condone construction done without a building permit, it does find that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, and for the reasons set forth herein, this board grants relief from Town Code Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Town Code Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations to legalize a third story, 694 square feet, constructed without the benefit of a building permit as shown on the third floor plan prepared by Jason M. Ormond, R.A., dated October 17, 2023. Given the circumstances and applicant's willingness to limit the variance to the existing third story only, this decision is conditioned upon the square footage of the third story not being expanded and the third story not being rebuilt should the existing dwelling ever be demolished. This decision is further subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
No.
She's a no, okay. And chair votes aye. Okay, I have a decision in the matter of 3310 Noyak LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-14-1-66.5. This application is for property located at 3310 Noyak Road, Noyak. Applicant seeks variances to construct 8 affordable housing units on a lot with an existing dwelling in a hamlet commercial zoning district. The proposed action was considered an unlisted action. The board coordinates secret with this application, and the planning board, who assumed lead agency, adopted a negative declaration finding that the project will not result in any large and important impact and therefore will not have a significant impact on the environment. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for 8 affordable housing units to be located on a lot with an existing 2-story, 1-family dwelling. 1. Town Code Section 330-162.19b. Hamlet Office / Residential and Hamlet Commercial / Residential dwellings to allow a total of 9 dwelling units, two proposed 4-family dwelling units, and 1 existing 2-story single-family dwelling to be located on a lot where a maximum of 4 dwelling units per lot are permitted, and Town Code Section 330-105C, Schedule of Minimum and Maximum Floor Areas, to allow the minimum floor area of each proposed 2-story building to be less than the required 2,800 square feet, as shown on the site plan prepared by the Raynor Group dated June 29, 2022, and the floor plans and elevations prepared by architect C.U. Liu, last revised August 23, 2024. Grant of this relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant is already acquired and may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, I have one more. Philip Patel and Sabhit Kaur Dillon. Suffolk County Tax Map 900-31-1-3.2. This application is for property located at 147 Edgemere Drive, North Sea. Edgemere Drive, North Sea. Applicants seek variances to construct a proposed 2-story addition to an existing dwelling burdened by wetlands. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed 2-story addition to the existing dwelling on a non-conforming lot. Town Code Section 330-115C continuance for a principal total side yard setback of 24.9 feet, where 40.5 feet is existing, and Town Code Section 330-84D pyramid height for a proposed pyramid encroachment in the amount of 1,131.87 cubic feet, 589.53 cubic feet on the east side, and 542.34 cubic feet existing on the west side. This board also grants relief from the Town Code Section 330-77G for a setback of 9.9 feet, where 10 feet is required for proposed AC units. These variances are granted as shown on the site plan sheet T-1011 dated September 20th, 2024, prepared by Mark Andre Schiffert, and the floor plans, elevations, and pyramid analysis prepared by Mark Andre Schiffert, last revised July 25th, 2024. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises, including the legalization or removal of all trellises prior to the issuance of any certificates on the premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Chair votes aye. Bob, you want to take the last two?
Yes, this is for Helen Warble and Taj Eval, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-123-2-27. This application is for property located at 100 Pine Street, Flanders. Applicant seeks a modest variance to construct a proposed 2nd-story addition to an existing dwelling burdened by wetlands and located in a flood zone. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law, New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following: Town Code Section 330-84D, pyramid law for a sky plane encroachment to the west in the amount of 646 cubic feet for proposed 2nd-story addition, as shown on the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Gardner, licensed land surveyor, last revised August 2nd, 2023, and elevations prepared by Anthony Portillo of AMP Architecture dated May 31st, 2024. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may have otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Okay.
What's that?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Abstain?
The chair votes aye.
Take it.
Okay.
Read that. Read.
The one I gave you.
Not this one.
Right.
Okay. This is for the we all voted on it, right?
Yeah.
This application for Dennis and Arlene O'Rourke, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-260-1-42. This application for property located at 5 Oak Street, Hampton Bays. Applicants seek a modest addition to a dwelling on a lot that boasts 2 dwellings. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from Town Code Section 330-116, extension as it relates to Town Code Section 330-167B1A, specific types of variances for a proposed addition that is 50% expansion on a lot with 2 houses as shown in the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Hardner, licensed land surveyor of Twin Forks Land Surveyor, last revised July 24, 2023, and the main house and cottage floor plan prepared by Stephen D. Lemanowski, professional engineer of Southampton Engineering Services, PC, dated September 24, 2024. This decision is subject to the conditions of such other permits as the applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
I'm abstaining.
Abstaining. Okay. Chair votes aye. Okay, do I have a motion to?
Your motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Should all be like this.
You abstained on that one. What was the correction she just took out of the existing second dwelling?
Yeah.
Am I going to